Democrats are still pushing their massive spending package. They now have released an updated version of the bill. Yesterday, they added back into the bill paid family leave, and they raised the $10,000 SALT deduction cap all the way up to $72.5 thousand. It is also including free pre-kindergarten subsidies for child care and tax credits for reducing emissions. The climate items continue in there, $555 billion of climate items. House Democrats are hoping to push this through and get a vote on this by Thanksgiving. The infrastructure bill is an unknown. Joining me right now is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn to talk more about this. She is a member of the Armed Services, Commerce, Judiciary, and Veterans Affairs Committees. And, Senator, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Can you give us a sense of where we are on these negotiations for the reconciliation plan as well as infrastructure?
Yes. Well, Maria, it sounds like the Democrats in the House are in disarray. And you've got the socialist Democrats who are trying to push all of these socialist wish list items into this bill. You've got the moderates who are saying we're not going to vote on this bill until we get a CBO score. And you have the Senate, where the legislation has to come. And, of course, you have Manchin, Sinema, and some of the moderates there, some of the people who are actually up for re-election in the Senate who are saying, hey, wait a minute, you know, you can't do this. And when you look at the paid leave, when you look at the SALT deductions, and by the way, the Democrats have to admit that is their gift to their wealthy donors on the East Coast and the West Coast. But I think the Democrats are further apart now than they were a month ago when it comes to getting a decision and an agreement on this reconciliation bill.
Well, I mean, you even have, you know, your colleague Joe Manchin saying, quote, it is unbelievable to see what went on in Virginia, and not just from the governor's race, but all the way down that ticket. Yeah. A good bit of change has happened. Does this pretty much validate what he's been saying in terms of slow down, I'm not going to buy into this package, this is not what voters want? Or do House Democrats, do you think, not recognize what has taken place this week?
House Democrats are not admitting what happened this week, and they know the clock is running out on them. And so what are they doing? They are doubling down on this failed agenda. And what they have decided to do is to just throw the ball, and a long ball, and try to catch as much of these socialist programs, get them on the books, because they know they are getting ready to lose the House and the Senate. In 24, they're going to lose the White House. But Maria, the American people spoke, whether it was New Jersey or Virginia or Texas or Seattle or Minneapolis, they spoke loud and clear. We are not for your progressive policies, for defund the police. We are not for kicking parents out of schools and not letting them weigh in on their children's education. We are not for socialist programs that are going to take away our freedom. And by the way, federal government, we do not want you controlling our life, cradle to grave, 24/7, 365. They are done with this, and they sent the message that they could take this agenda and shove it in the trash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the vaccine mandates have sparked resignations across the country. This is part of his agenda. Biden is forcing this vaccine mandate on private employers as well. And the GOP, I know, is fighting back. You and dozens of other Republican senators moving to strike down Biden's order with the Congressional Review Act. Tell me more about that. And, you know, what is the impact of all of these first responders as well as private workers resigning because they can't handle this forced jab?
That's right. And they Many of them have had COVID. Some of them have talked to their doctor. The doctors have said, I wouldn't advise this for you because of medical history of their families or their own medical history. So they're trying to find a way to work with their employers. But in this socialist agenda push, what the Democrats are doing is taking away the ability of employers to work with their employees and find workarounds. And I have seen this with essential workers. We've had many tearful conversations with workers who love their job, many who are the sole support of their family. They don't want to give up their job, but Joe Biden is getting them fired. So, yes, we've got the Congressional Review Act. We will pull this forward. We've got my legislation that protects essential workers and prohibits them from being fired, allows them to be exempted from the mandate. Yeah.
Senator, real quick before you go, I saw that the Department of Defense released that annual report on China, something that you've been raising your hand on for a long time. They finally say that China's military is a significant threat here. Is that going to push Biden to increase spending on defense in this budget, or is it the Bernie Sanders budget and that's all, that way or the highway? Because so far I'm seeing no policy with teeth against China. I'm seeing no acknowledgement of the threats that we see in this defense budget.
We have tried to get them to recognize China and the threat of great power competition and the interweaving of the Belt and Road Initiative with that, and the way China is pushing their surveillance operations. And the brass at the Pentagon is refusing to say that this should be item number one. We saw how China played into Afghanistan, how they have cozied up to the Taliban, and we're going to stay on them to recognize this and admit it. Admit it.
Yeah. Senator, it's good to see you. Thanks for your leadership on all of the above.
Good
Senator
to see
Marsha
you.
Blackburn with us once again. We'll talk with you soon. We'll be right back. Stay with us.